Hello, welcome back to Fire Horizons Gaming. My name is Ben, and today we're going to continue on with Suzerain. The last time out, we attended the anniversary of the ISM incident, signed a bill helping out the Bluedish population, and dealt with a whole bunch of, little economic, tax acts and things. So, today let's pick it up here with an emergency call on an escalating situation. I was woken up in the middle of the night by a call from the Ministry of Defense. Due to the sensitivity of the information, I had to be urgently briefed in person. I put my clothes on as fast as I could. Ooh, got an achievement somehow for new generation of swords. I rushed downstairs and opened the door. Serge was waiting for me. Mr. President, this way to the car, please. We got into the car and made our way to the Ministry of Defense building without a word. I arrived and was directed downstairs. I came to a set of large doors and quickly read the sign above them. The sign read, War Room. The dimly lit room was filled with cutting-edge equipment, the latest video screens, long-range radio electronics, and other devices used for communication, presentation, and planning. The centerpiece of the room was a large round table with the coat of arms of Sordish engraved on it. David, Lucian, Falcon, and Yosef were already deep in discussion. Mr. Lancia, I advise caution. Going to war wouldn't help anyone. We must maintain peace and order in the Eastern Maricopa at all costs. What do you expect us to do? Sit down and do nothing? They are testing us. We must respond immediately, otherwise they'll think we are weak. Status report, now.
Mr. President, thank you for coming in this late hour. There's a situation. Falcon, please go ahead and provide a report.
Mr. President, approximately 20 minutes ago, run back down to one of our planes with anti-aircraft fire from the ground. The pilot was declared KIA. The last recorded position of the plane was inside Sordish airspace. General Kruger, no offense, but are we absolutely sure that this is the case? Are you sure this happened within our borders? No offense taken. Here are the locations on the map and the pulled from the airbase. He pointed at several markers on the map. To answer your question, yes, we are absolutely sure. You can see here on the map that the plane was down approximately 10 kilometers inside our borders. We have calculated the trajectory of the gunfire, and they started firing when our plane was within our border. The plane was down near Halgan. How dare they? This is an attack against their sovereignty. Mr. President, I must insist. We need to be calm. We need to maintain peace.
I agree. They're trying to lure us into their trap. We have enough military power to contest against this violation of international law. We should track down one of their planes in retaliation. Otherwise, we'll look weak and it will lead to more casualties.
We can't look weak. If we appear weak, they'll jump on the opportunity. We must order military retaliation immediately.
I agree with the General.
Mr. President, our army is ready to do whatever it takes to protect Solvent. Gentlemen, before it comes to that point, we prevent further bloodshed by using diplomacy. The room fell silent before Yosef finally spoke up.
Mr. President, what are your orders?
Okay, let's see here. So, we're just supposed to respond in kind and not prepare for the invasion. So, an eye for an eye. We'll retaliate with equal force to display our strength. Sordish can't afford to look weak.
Very well.
If there is to be retaliation, we need to be extremely careful. They will seek every opportunity to blame us for it. We can't further escalate the situation to destabilize the region. We need to prevent a war at all costs. I'm saying this is a man who's lived through too many years of war.
We're not the ones who escalated the situation. They were first. Mr. President, I assure you, they wouldn't dare attack us for that. They know that we are fast-spreading. This will send a strong message. I'll send word for the start of the military operation. Our target will be the warplanes at an airbase near the border. I still think peaceful solution would be more beneficial, but of course I don't have the military experience insight Mr. Lancia has. I'll begin my task immediately, Mr. President. If you'll excuse me now, I must talk to the military command to relay the orders. Before he left the room, he saluted. I'll bring the paperwork.
Yosef returned with the paperwork for the order and showed me where to sign. I signed off on the operation. Nice, an achievement from militarist state.
Now that the paperwork is done, I have an idea, Mr. President. I think we should hold a military parade to display our strength.
I'm with Mr. Lancia on this one. This should work well as a deterrent, and it will come in handy as a tool to de-escalate the situation.
That is a good idea. Simple and effective without causing any ruckus.
Alright, I'm actually not sure what I should do here. Guy doesn't really say anything, but I don't see a reason not to. That makes sense. Organize a military parade.
Understood. That is all, Mr. President. I'll keep you updated on the situation. For now, have a good night's sleep. You'll need it.
I couldn't sleep at all that night. Sweet. Okay. So we have one newspaper here, or one report from the newspapers. Whatever. The whole sword post. Sordish plane shot down. A Sordish airplane has been shot down by Rumburgian anti-aircraft guns, allegedly for violating Rumburgian airspace. Government officials said the airplane was shot inside the airspace of Sortland. Our plane was shot down while it was flying near Hagen over the territory of Sortland by an anti-aircraft missile. Our pilot did not threaten Rumburg in any way, said Josef Lancia, the Minister of Defense. Despite the revealed evidence from Sordish officials, the Queen of Rumburg, Beatrice Livingston, had the guts to claim that our plane was shot for violating their airspace. This is truly a heinous act purposely done by our rivals in the north. This tragic event will have severe consequences for Sortland-Rumburg relations. Yes, it will. Okay. Doesn't look like we got anything else, so let's head to the Maroon Palace. I was sitting right across from David in the White Room after he scheduled an urgent meeting. I knew that the matter must have been serious. He insisted on waiting for Josef and Lucien, so we did. Lucien entered the room with Josef by his side.
Mr. President, we came as fast as we could. Mr. President, Mr. Vichy, what is going on?
David cleared his throat.
Yeah, welcome everyone. Due to the potential ramifications, I want everyone to be present for this meeting. We have received an envoy from United Cantona. They are requesting a state visit. Judging from the current climate, it is not hard to see what this is about. CSP is always trying to expand its influence after all. They'll most likely try to convince us to join. In addition, as part of the state visit, Leon Malyanov will, of course, meet with you in person, Mr. President.
Okay, interesting. So the guide says we should be getting visited by the ATO. Weird. Alright. Now, let's be diplomatic for the moment. There is a lot we could gain from this visit.
With all due respect, are you out of your mind? Mr. Lancia.
Let him continue. I didn't say anything.
This is madness. We cannot even consider accepting this. Everybody will come asking us for the cooperation under the guise of enforcing the demands to join CSP. This will antagonize half the world against us. We're going to be at the forefront of the battle. If you ever approach this from the perspective of national defense, then don't. We're in better shape than we ever were before. I assure you, we don't need any outside help. Definitely not from Leon Malyanov. We'll make do somehow.
That's fine. I trust your judgment and our troops.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Vichy, we rely a lot on you as you're experts in your field with proven track. What's your take on this? What do you think is the right action?
Well, Rumburg is bound to increase diplomatic pressure in the upcoming AN meeting. Back channels reporting rumors about Queen Beatrice Livingston meeting with military leaders in Thornburg. Now, I'm afraid it might not be possible to stand against Rumburg without strong allies. Soon we'll have to take a side in this global rivalry to avert a potential conflict with Rumburg. And I recently found out of a planned meeting between the Queen and President Walker of Abkhazia. The CSP and Chairman Millenniev might be the necessary evil to stop worse things from happening. I see we should consider this offer very seriously.
Lucien, what do you think?
We heard our experts. You're the one who has to decide, sir.
Alright, I mean, the guide just says to decline, even though it's supposed to be the ATO, but I assume it would be the same either way. I don't want to involve ourselves with superpowers. Decline their offer.
I'll send a response immediately. I think that's all for today. Thank you all for attending.
As we dispersed, the world map hanging on the wall in the room caught my attention. I walked over to it. How often were the lines on this world map redrawn over the recent decades? What about the future? Alright, got a country overview here somehow. Alright, in the law, we've got a reconciliation process. Perfect, we needed that to help out the war effort. The new initiative by the Sordish government and British leaders has called for a ceasefire and easing of tensions, leading to reconciliation between both sides. Perfect. And on the order side of things, it's just in the middle, reduced crime. Our police forces lack the necessary power to prevent tragic crimes due to their limited power. However, some suspected individuals that violate security criteria have been apprehended, reducing a portion of crime nationwide. Cool, that's good-ish, I guess? Alright, looks like we're just staying in Whole Sword. Alright, another late night at the Rain household. After weeks of late nights, Monica, Ciara, and the Women's Rights Commission succeeded in getting the bill through the Assembly, only for me to veto it. I left work early in order to explain myself to my wife, but it had been hours since I had gotten home, and she still wasn't there. I was dozing off on the couch after yet another frozen TV dinner when I heard the key turn the lock. Monica stumbled into the hall. Honey, I'm home. Where were you? I was just having a few drinks with Ciara. We had to get drunk after what you did to our bill. Vetoed, Anton? What on earth were you thinking? She collapsed onto the couch and buried her head in her hands. This is my big chance. The one thing I'd wanted to do since before I even met you. You, Anton Rain, you ruined it. I didn't think this bill was good enough. We'll have another chance next year. Why didn't you talk to me first? Haven't you learned anything this entire time? I didn't get the chance. I'm sorry. Monica's eyes flashed. Well, we're not going to stop fighting for this, with or without you. Yeah, I know. That's why I married you. Monica smiled wearily. I'm not really in the mood to keep talking. It's time for bed. Without another word, she headed up the stairs, leaving me alone with my thoughts again. Brilliant. Okay. Wow, there's a bunch of things here, so let's check out the reports first. Estor, Rumburgian plane shot. Joseph Lancia reports that a Rumburgian warplane was shot down by anti-aircraft upon violating Sordish airspace. According to the report of the General Staff, the plane was flying over the town of Halgan inside Sordish borders and did not retreat upon warning. To be fair, they've launched planes into our airspace before, so it's not entirely fictional, maybe. Alright, from Agnolia. Agnolia signaled standing with Sordland. Prime Minister Van Horten said in a statement that Agnolia will stand against the Volkslundian harassment together with Sordland. He condemned Chancellor Hagel for trying to dominate the Markian Sea and warned us of a potential war. Fantastic. Alright, let's hit Lockhaven. One-on-one interview from Kyroots. Lucian Galad organized an interview for the presidency on the internationally renowned One-on-One. Famous journalist Thomas Sacher will be asking him questions. The crew of One-on-One and Thomas Sacher will arrive next week in Lockhaven from Kyroots. And in Connerat, Volkslundian Navy spotted in full force in Helluland. According to intelligence reports, Volkslundian Navy gathered in full force around Helluland, blockading the island. The reports warn about a possible violent conflict between Agnolian and Volkslundian forces. Sordish Navy in Connerat is on standby. Nice. Alright, so all the reports. Looks like, let's check Whole Sword here. Nope, no reports there. We'll get back to that in a minute. Let's go to the newspapers first. From Whole Sword Post, Sordland's largest military parade ever. President Rain has announced Sordland's largest military parade ever to display the strength of the Sordish armed forces to the world. During the glorious day, tanks will roll, jets will fly, and our soldiers will march. Young and old, Sordish citizens will come together to once again cheer for our soldiers. The parade will send a clear message to our enemies: beware. President Rain will be joining the parade with a motorcade and a drive through Victory Avenue. From Sordland Today, Workers' Party leader poisoned. The leader of the Workers' Party of Bludia is rumored to be poisoned by a nerve agent on his way from Deir to Sarna. The attack came after a speech in Deir when Ejal promised to clean Sordish politics from Solism. According to our sources, he was taken to a local hospital in Sarna where he lies in a coma. Officials from the police said that investigations are underway to find the attackers. And from Geopolitico, Sordland shoots down Rumburg warplane in retaliation. Following Rumburg's demands for reparations from Sordland, the tensions have increased dramatically between the two countries. Yesterday, a Sordish warplane has been shot by the Rumburg anti-air systems, and all of the pilots on board have been killed. As per the information from Rumburg, Sordish warplane has trespassed into Rumburgian airspace, where Sordish military reports that the plane was inside Sordish borders when it was shot. The international community is unclear of the certainty of the reports from both sides. Immediately after the incident, Sordland retaliated by sending their warplanes into the Rumburg airspace and destroyed a Rumburgian jet. Tensions between Rumburg and Sordland continue to increase as the largest troop deployments in the last decade begin in eastern Maricopa. Brilliant. Alright. Codex, we've got this thing here on Fedi Ejal, who we know nothing about anyway. He just kind of popped up here. So that's cool. Alright, let's head back to Whole Sword for the Reign 57 campaign advertisement. The election of 1957 is approaching fast, and a massive election campaign effort is taking shape. Public campaign funds available to the party are covering most of the costs, but we could put our own funds to increase the chances of victory. Different scale advertisement campaigns for the Reign 1957 bid can be enacted. Well, I only have 2 personal wealth, so let's just throw it all at it. Alright, we got journal entry. Yep. Okay, we got a bunch of journal entries there. That's cool. Alright. Let's see. I don't see anything else. Let's head over here to Anarcha. The election speech at the USP HQ. The sun was starting to peek through the blinds of my suite in the Grand Chariot Hotel in Anarcha. I hadn't slept at all that night. I was too busy thinking about how I would rally my party's conservative base at today's election kickoff. I was just pulling on my clothes when 2 soft, sharp knocks came at the door. Lucian.
Good morning, sir.
I told you, Lucian, you're vice president now. You don't need to keep calling me sir.
Force of habit, Anton.
Lucian unclasped his briefcase and took out a small disc-shaped device. After scanning the room with it, he gave a satisfied nod.
I have just received an update regarding the investigation you ordered into the opposition.
It better be juicy after this long.
Unfortunately, sir, the reformers appear to be as clean as a whistle. Early rumors about connections to oligarchs turned out to be just that, rumors. However,
Lucian lowered his voice.
It would be fairly easy to plant incriminating evidence against Richter and have him trialed. That would help drain support from the reformers and clear the path for your re-election.
I like the way you're thinking.
Thank you, sir. So, should I give the order?
Hell yeah, screw it. Let's sink Richter once and for all.
As you wish. I'll give the order to Mr. Greiser. I have some more news about the NFP. It concerns Bernard Serk's assassination. The investigators have discovered proof that both Casaro Kibna and his right-hand man, Ramus Holstrom, collaborated with the Young Swords to orchestrate the murder.
Yeah, I mean, that's not surprising.
I assume Ms. Groff will want to take action on this immediately. They could go to trial by the end of the month. So, should I give the order to arrest Mr. Holstrom and Mr. Kibna?
Hell yeah, dude. The sooner the better.
Excellent, sir. Now that that's settled, I'll let you prepare for your rally. I almost forgot. The Archpriest of Tyr couldn't be present today, but wanted to relay a message of support to you and your family.
Okay, cool. What do you say?
I bless the rains down in Anarcha.
Terrible. Lucy left the room. I finished putting on my tie and reread my notes for the morning speech. A few hours later, I was waiting in the wings of the North Sword Auditorium in Anarcha, and in the audience were several thousand of my conservative supporters. I was wearing an FC Anarcha scarf to please locals, and remind them that I was still part owner of the team. Behind the podium hung a Sordish flag and a giant banner that read, "Victory is close." Anarcha Mayor Curtin Less gave a short introductory speech. I couldn't look at him without thinking about how I let Monica down. I stepped behind the podium and took a deep breath. Alright, let me see if there's anything in here about this speech, but I don't think so. Cool, alright, I don't see anything in the guide about this, but I assume we just want to, talk ourselves up, so let's just do that. Let's see, Sons and Daughters of Swordland. Over the past 3.5 years, many enemies have tried to destroy me and this fine country. Yet Swordland has prevailed, and in my administration we are stronger than ever. My re-election, I'll finish pulling Swordland's economy from the depths of recession. Under my presidency, Swordland citizens have united like never before. I have successfully reformed Swordland's constitution, and I will continue to root out corruption and wrongdoing even within this very government. I've cleaned such corruption from Swordland's court system to ensure true justice for all. Thunderous applause erupted. Swordland has changed, but the USP remains as strong as ever. There's been tremendous progress made in this term, and more is to come. The experience and expertise of Vice President Claude will help guide us into a brilliant future. A roar shook the hall. It is time, my fellow swords. A new dawn is upon us and begins right here and right now. So remember, vote Reign 57. The audience roared as streamers shot out of cannons behind me. Tooth to tooth, eye to eye, FC Anarcha. I stepped down from the podium. Alright, that was certainly easier than I thought. Alright, wow, we got a whole bunch of stuff here. Alright, check the political overview. Legislative. Empty seat for the NFP because we had him arrested. Duh. Alright, country overview and economy. We've got, wow, a whole bunch of things here. All of them green. We've got high employment. So new successful investments have created thousands of jobs, which have virtually reduced unemployment to nothing. Brilliant. Production increase. A new production-focused investment has invigorated growth and caused a ripple effect and increased output of production throughout the country. Berja, major agricultural zone. The Berja region is accelerating its economy thanks to the investments we've made. We expect the region to become our major agricultural zone. And Lauren, a major hub for production and commerce. The Lauren region is accelerating its economy thanks to the investments we've made. We can expect the region to become our major hub for trade and commerce. And Island, fish exporter and tourism hub. The island region is producing and exporting fish at a rapid rate. Not only that, tourists are coming to Sordish to check out its famous cold water salmon. Alright, well, that's pretty fantastic. Alright, let's see if there's any reports. Nope, some briefing. So let's do the newspapers first. There's a whole bunch of them. There's, 5 of them here. Note from the Whole Sword Post. Franz Richter trialed by state. Franz Richter, leader of the People's Freedom and Justice Party, is currently embroiled in a government court case involving his alleged ties to Sarkazia. Documents were discovered detailing his use of state funds to travel to off-the-books meetings by causing politicians. While Richter loudly protested this evidence was falsified, multiple police experts verified it as legitimate. The case is expected to significantly impede Richter's ability to campaign, paving the way for an easy USP victory in the next election. Alright, from Sordish today, NFP leadership hampered. With both top brass, Casaro Keebner and Remus Holstrom gone, there's a vacuum at the top of the National Front Party that members are scrambling to fill ahead of the coming elections. No obvious leadership candidate has emerged, as others in the party failed to display the raw charisma that made Keebner and Holstrom so appealing to voters. It's looking increasingly likely the USP will cruise its way to another victory. The only thing that can get in its way at this point is itself. And we got 3 of them from the Lockhaven Times. We got police reveals Keebner assassination plot. An investigation bombshell from the Reign administration came today as National Front leader Casaro Keebner, together with his right-hand man, Remus Holstrom, was revealed to be involved in the assassination of Bernard Circus. The shocking event, which prompted violent clashes across the country, was at first thought to be a one-off act of aggression by the Young Swords. Now it seems there are deeper government forces at work. And Young Swords drives NFP recruitment. In Gelzord, a sizable gathering of Young Swords members were seen organizing a recruiting rally for the NFP. Despite the SP majority of the city, they seemed to have laid the groundwork as a surprising amount of people were interested in attending. We interviewed a few passing citizens on what they think, and we heard conflicting answers. A tea house owner attending the rally said Casaro Keebner is going to win, mark my words. While a taxi driver said they know it's pointless, but they're still doing it. That's crazy if you ask me. Despite what the general populace thinks, the mood was merry and support for NFP grows in the city. And well-funded Reign 57 campaign machine. As the 1957 campaign closed in, President Anton Reign started his campaign. Posters and leaflets are distributed across every city, big or small, in Sordish. The campaign is estimated to cost millions of red. Due to this, many of his opposition have criticized Mr. Reign for spending time campaigning, while there's still scores of problems in Sordish. I mean, that's a fair criticism, I suppose, but I don't care. Alright. Said to Whole Sword for the briefing on the current economic situation. I arrived at the Ministry of Economy and proceeded upstairs. An assistant waiting by the door to the meeting took my jacket. I opened the door and entered the largest boardroom in the building. Simon was sitting alone with a glass of water and his documents laid out before him. He stood up when I entered and approached me. After a quick handshake, I took a seat.
Good afternoon, Mr. President.
Yeah, good afternoon. A knock was heard on the door, and Lucien entered the room. My most sincere apologies. I was attending to other matters. Did you start yet?
Mr. Vice President. No, not yet. Now that everyone's here, let's begin. As you all know, we're here to review the economic progress we've made over the past term and decide how to proceed. I'll brief you quickly on what we've done so far, just as a refresher.
Cool. Yeah, let's hear it. He gathered documents in the pile in front of him and adjusted his glasses. From the pile, he produced 2 booklets and handed them to us.
Our extra focus on the economy has resulted in some small-scale positive growth. The extra resources have been booned to my ministry. It would be great if we followed up on this focus during our next term. Let's take a deep dive into the details now. Please turn to page 5.
I turn to page 5.
Let's start off with our economic plan. I am glad to say we're on track with our intention for a planned economy. Most of our decisions so far have been pretty consistent.
We need to keep at it, make sure we follow through. Agreed. We still have much to do.
That's what I'm here for. Let's move on with the report. If I were to describe what we've done so far, I would say that it's very close to full command economic system. Please turn to page 16.
I turn to page 16, titled Status of Trade and the Effects of Foreign Policy.
I am happy to say that our trade has increased since the beginning of our term. We are on the right path. More trade means a more vibrant economy, which means unbridled economic development. Having said that, the fact that we're now able to rely completely on our own economy is definitely a step in the right direction.
And this gives us good rhetoric to use in our election campaigns.
That is certainly your area of expertise, Mr. Glad.
We don't need any foreign countries controlling us through their economy. We should maintain our self-reliance.
We will have to carefully consider this matter during our second term. Please turn to page 17.
I turn to page 17.
In our attempt to repair Sordish economic system, we went for a mixed approach. We tried to cater to the needs of both businesses and Sordish citizens, which was a total mistake. It's been a delicate balance. Thankfully, living standards are steadily increasing. We've been receiving fewer and fewer complaints about our welfare systems.
Good. A satisfied populace means more votes for the incumbent administration.
Exactly. Meanwhile, businesses are certainly not pleased with the higher taxes we've imposed on them. Now to page 34.
I turn to page 34.
Production in our country has nearly doubled since the start of our administration. It's a great success.
I couldn't have asked for more. Good work. Yes, thank you for your excellent efforts, Mr. Hall.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Moving on to logistics, we have an infrastructure problem. The economy won't truly flourish unless we solve it. We need to make new roads, improving the existing ones. People and businesses alike have been complaining. Smoother commutes, easier access, and faster delivery times would help everyone out. We're very close to the end. I want to talk about a few numbers. Please turn to page 57. I've prepared a chart.
I turn to page 57.
Our inflation rate is currently at an amazing 2%, down from 7%. It's the lowest Sordish has ever seen. The Sordish Ren's value has been largely maintained, and consumer prices have been stabilized.
Which means the Sordish citizens are happier. Good. We'll need all the hope we can get for the election.
Agreed. Mr. President, do you have any questions so far?
What's our debt situation?
Our debt is at 310 billion Ren, down from 427 billion Ren at the beginning of our term, so we managed to bring it down quite a bit. As a result, international investment has increased along with our government budget.
Nice. All right. How about unemployment numbers?
The unemployment rate is at 5%, down from 16%. The change is mostly due to our investments in wise economic planning.
That's pretty good. What about the GDP then?
Our current GDP is at 513 billion Ren, a major increase from 310 Ren we had at the beginning of our term. As per the latest stats, the economy grew 16% in the last 4 years on average. In short, we enjoy an increased economical capacity.
Sweet, those are all the questions I had.
Very well. Now I want to quickly highlight our budget expenditure. My numbers indicate that overall we've been fairly balanced in spending our government budget. A balanced approach is good. However, we shouldn't forget that money is not that it's not spent; it's just pieces of paper. Now, going into the elections, hopefully second term, we need to decide on the way forward. One thing is clear: we need a bigger budget. We shouldn't start next term with a budget deficit. What should we do, Mr. President? Any ideas?
Okay, this is my main question here. Let's see. Cool. So the guide says we can either print money or seize the emergency funds in addition to taking out an international loan. As in, like, there's 3 options, which is what shows right there on the screen. So guide says to seize the emergency funds. All right, cool. Well, let's liquidate the emergency funds. This will create quite a risk in case of an actual emergency, but it can be done. I'll get right on it after this meeting, now that that's out of the way. During our first term, we faced many challenges in the midst of recession. We've worked hard to fight against all odds, and we've beaten every single one of them. We have solved our country's social problems and quelled the people's dissatisfaction. We've beaten a life-threatening disease, stopping it dead in its tracks before it could spread and damage our economy. No pun intended. You may have surmised from data I've given you that the worst of the recession is behind us. And in fact, you'd be absolutely correct. We've entered what future historians might refer to as the Sordish recovery period. This warrants a celebration for sure.
That ought to resonate with voters. Sordish recovery period. We've done well. History will remember the Reign administration as the one that ended the recession.
Congratulations, everyone. This was only a dream a few years ago when we achieved it. We'll go out for drinks later, gentlemen, but for now, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you for coming.
The meeting dispersed. I hurried to the cafeteria to get a cup of coffee. Fantastic. And wow, there's a crap load of reports that just popped up here. Jeez, yeah, there's a lot of them. But I think we're going to have to wait to look at those until later. So yeah, as always, thank you very much for watching. I hope to see y'all next time.